Good men do the things they like to do. Great men do the things they need to do. But champions do the things they hate to do, to grow, to achieve, and to overcome all obstacles in their path. To learn more,
Good morning. Welcome to the Even Place. We trust you're having a wonderful day. I have a new expression right now is that every day that I exist, every day I live, I'm between a great day and a wonderful day. I'm not sure which one I want to have, but I am putting myself between two extraordinary things. It's truly a wonderful thing to be alive, and I really appreciate you taking time to hear today's lesson. Today's lesson is going to be entitled Wisdom for Wealth. Wisdom for Wealth. It's a part of the series that we've been doing. Wisdom is the principal thing. And all our getting, we want to get a complete understanding. It's taken from King Solomon, who happens to be the king and the preacher. He had two extraordinary roles. He was someone who was a wonderful person who overseed the kingdom of actual individuals, but also he was one of the smartest men who ever lived. So he was a person who was an individual who was in charge of laws and authority and over instruction. So we're going to give you some instruction today based upon a lot of the wisdom of King Solomon. So his favorite expression was wisdom is the principal thing or the main thing, and all you're getting, get an understanding. Now, there's a lot of ways we can explain things here at the Even Place, but our goal here at the Even Place is to use the number 3 in the sense that when we explain things, we give things in that order. Some people say it takes 7 to do something, which is a perfect number. 8 is the number of new beginnings. Some feel that the number 21 is a great number in order for it to establish a habit. Some say 52. Some say 365 days. But what we're going to do right now is kind of take a concept, take a principle, and kind of break it down into 3. And so that's what we do here. The Even Place, what we do here is concerning discernment, balance, and fitness. So those 3 things we want you to experience, whether you come to our local location here, or if you view us via the internet or through our social media like Twitter or Facebook. So today's lesson is going to be entitled Wisdom for Wealth. Wisdom for Wealth. Now, each and every day, Napoleon Hill says we are given an envelope. Napoleon Hill was the extraordinary man who helped put together an extraordinary book entitled Think and Grow Rich. He said each and every day we're giving like 2 envelopes. I guess Moses would have called it in the book of Deuteronomy an envelope of blessing, an envelope of cursing, an envelope of increase, an envelope of decrease. Each and every day you have the opportunity and the choice to make a decision that's going to cause things to come into your life of good things or things that come away from you that's going to cause you to go down. Even the great master teacher, Jesus Christ, when he came on the earth, he said a very, very powerful truth. He says, I've come that you may have life and life more abundantly. He wants you to have a good life. He wants you to have abundant life. Also, we want you to know that our method of instruction here at the Even Place is that we want you to get an understanding. We want you to understand some methods of teaching, which are appropriate and are good in the right place, is for entertainment. Some teaching is to inspire, but our goal is to inform you so that you can be able to duplicate that situation. Because wisdom is the principal thing, and all you're getting, get an understanding, or can you duplicate, can you replicate that information? And when you do so, you're going to be successful in life. Now, talking about duplicating, as we mentioned earlier, each and every day you have a choice to make wonderful decisions that's going to cause you to increase, or you can make decisions that's going to kind of sap your energy, to take you kind of down. For example, if I want to live a wonderful, healthy life, I would have spices, I will have vegetables, and I'll have fruit. If I want a life that I want to be able to not be successful, 3 things I can eat all day long is salt, sugar, and fat. One is going to take me down, give me low energy. Another is going to give me high energy. So I'm going to repeat it again. Spices, fruit, and vegetables take you up. You're going to be powered. You're going to be able to do great things in life. Then if you want to decrease your life, eat as much salt as you want to eat. Have as much fat as you want to have. And how much processed sugar you want to have, and then your energy is drained. This is a choice that you choose each and every day. Moses says, I give before you blessings and cursing. Just in case you don't know which one to choose, I want to encourage you to choose the blessing or the high road. Now, in this world, there are things called universal laws. And I'm going to give you something I want you to write down and think about this as it relates to universal laws. When we say a universal law, we mean something that involves excellence. We're saying something that is highest use. And number 3, best practice. So it involves best practice, highest use, and excellence. It's something that anyone can use. It's something that you can use at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, if you have a lot of weight, you have a little weight. It doesn't matter any of those kind of components. What it involves is the fact that this is a universal law. No matter what you say or what you do, it is applicable in your life. Let me give you an illustration of that. If I was to go right now to MapQuest and I want to go, let's say, from Washington, D.C. to New York City, I would get on the Beltway from this location here, and then I would go north on 95. Now, notice when it allows me to get on that particular apparatus called MapQuest, it doesn't ask me what my nationality, my culture, my history, or society. It doesn't ask me what my weight. It doesn't ask me whether or not I am driving a BMW or if I'm driving a 1996 Classic Capri. It doesn't ask me those questions. It doesn't ask me if I'm driving a Mercedes, or it doesn't ask me if I'm going by foot or if I'm going by bicycle. It lets me know if I want to get from point A to point B, this is what I need to do. Get on 495, 95 north, and it'll give me little signs to know if I'm going in the right direction, like Baltimore, then Philadelphia, and then eventually I will get into the Big Apple. So what we want to do today is give you some basic foundational thoughts as it relates to the subject of wealth. First of all, let's look at the subject of money. Money is something that all and each and every one of us need in order to have in life. I want to give you some kind of aspect. For example, how do people make money? If you look down and see how do people make money, they make money three ways. And I want you to think about whether or not you're doing these three things. If you're doing these three things, you will always have money. For example, you have to provide some type of product. If you're providing a product or goods, you will always have money. When I go to the store, I went to the store and I wanted to be able to get a salad. Doyle makes salads. When I wanted to be able to get some fruit, Doyle makes fruits. They provide a product. And so if you want to be able to provide wealth, now when I say wealth, sometimes individuals have a problem with the word wealth. So let's say if you want to be more comfortable with maybe your resources or your blessings or increase, something that's going to allow you to meet every one of your needs, you need to provide some type of product. My great friend Mike Merlick says, we are paid according to the problem that you're solving. For example, Doyle, since I mentioned them as that salad, they provide a solution for my eating challenge. I have a problem. I want to have something to eat. So what do? They provide a wonderful salad for me. I want to have a wonderful banana. They provide that for me. They solve a problem for me in my life. So number one is, if you want to make money, what product or goods do you provide? Number two, if you want to make money, what services do you provide? Now, services could be counseling. It could be advice. That deals in the soul area. So there's, as we mentioned before, here at the Even Place, may your spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless. So in other words, when you look at a problem, are you resolving it in three realms or three possibilities of success? Are you looking at it from the perspective of the spirit? Are you looking at it from the soul? And are you looking at it from the physical? So products or good is something physical that you have. Service is something that you can do emotionally. For example, you may go to a concert. Isn't it interesting that if you go to Circus Olay, let's say, for example, in Las Vegas, you may spend $100, $200 for a seat. But at the end of that particular experience, it provides a service. You are inspired. You're uplifted. It's the greatest circus on earth. So either you're going to have to provide some type of product or goods, or you have to provide some type of service. The third thing, in order for you to get your wealth, is you have to be a person who gives. Now, in the church, they call it tithing, giving of offerings. Now, if you're a business person, he uses the word philanthropy. He knows the importance. Now, I always find it interesting. If you want to have money, or for example, if you want to have peanuts, you plant peanuts, and you plant in the right soil. If you want to have cotton, you plant cotton in the soil. But there is a universal kind of thing in the spirit world that if you plant finances or money, you get money. So if you don't have any money, you got to look at yourself. Am I taking 10% of what I do? And am I taking 10% of what I do and bless other people? It could be your local church. That's the storehouse. But 10% of your entire income, whatever comes into your life, is entitled to go back to the universe. The universe is giving you something. So if you're looking at your finances right now and you got to say to yourself, how come I don't have enough money to live today? How come I don't have enough money to have my needs met? Look at these three areas. Am I providing a product or goods? Number one. Am I providing some type of service? Am I advising people and they're willing to pay me for that advice? And number three, am I giving back to this universe? You can't take from this universe and not give back. And again, we're going to get into that more in detail, but it's some form of financial giving. If you give time, you get time back. Some people says, well, you're not giving a lot of time. Well, that's all you got is time. You're not going to get any money. If you want money or resources, you have to understand how money works, and you have to sow money, plant it, in order for you to get it back. Now, let's talk about money. Let's give you some kind of understanding of what is money. Money is involved three things. Number one, money is current, C-U-R-R-E-N-T. The best kind of money is cash. Money today is worth more today than it is tomorrow. So you want to have as much cash today. There's a very, very powerful principle. And I shall supply every one of your needs according to my riches and glory. So you need to have resources for today, not tomorrow, but for today. I don't think about tomorrow's bill. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to have for breakfast today, what I'm going to have for lunch, and hopefully what I'm going to have for dinner. And if I make it through, which I normally do, I'm all right. Now, my father taught me a lot of wonderful things. I've given you some of the things my father, Deacon John Wesley Jones, has given me. For example, when he gave me instruction as it relates to racism, he says, watch out for Charlie. When I went to my father and your granddaddy concerning going to college, he said to me, God bless you. That was his financial plan for going to college. And then when I asked my father, I said, Dad, how can I have every one of my needs met? He said, son, I want to tell you something. He learned this from King David. He said, I've been young and I'm now old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor seed begging bread. If you look at my body right now, I've been eating. I eat all the time. In fact, I've eaten so much, I've just lost 60 pounds. I just had a big milestone. I just lost 60 pounds, and I'm going down another 80 pounds, and then I'm going to stop there and just kind of hang there for a little while at that particular weight. But if you look at me, I mean, I eat, and I've never missed a meal. It's been tight sometimes. I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death. I've been down, but you know what? I've always eaten because my father taught me that. And sometimes when things are a little lean, when things get a little close, I have that principle. I've been young, I'm now old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor seed begging bread. Now let's talk about money again. Money is something that is current, number one. The next thing you need to understand about money, money is currency. It flows. It flows. And what you got to do is, there's money over there. Now, have you ever seen Sesame Street? I used to watch Sesame Street quite a bit. You may be too, you probably didn't have Sesame Street when you were growing up. But there was something that they would do I would love, and I think it was Grover who used to do it. He says, here, there, here, there, here, there. So right now you're here, but the money is there. Now, how do I get money from here, from there, back to here? If I send it out, the characteristics of money is like a boomerang. And when you give it out, it comes back to you. The good part about it, when it comes back to you, it comes back to your good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It's the law of whatever you sow. If I sow bad vibes come back to me. If I sow good things, it comes back to me. So if you're here and you need money, it's over here, over there. So in order for it there to come here, you got to give it out. And when you do so, it'll come into your life. So number one, money is current. Money also is currency. The third thing you need to understand about money is money increases your capacity to do things. The more money you have, the more things you can do. The more resources you have, the more you can impact people. My dear friend who just recently died, Stephen Covey, he said to me something very powerful. It's not something I heard. He talked to me on the telephone. He says, Alvin. I said, what? He said, Alvin. He says, what? He said, success is what you do for yourself, but significance is what you do for others. He says, the quality of life that I want to live is a life that is significant for others. And when you have finances, which are currency, you have the greater capacity to help other people. My needs are met. The reason why we're doing the Even Place is so that we can help you, because I want to have a life that is marked by significance. I'm going to give you one little wealth principle here right now, and then we're going to give you a story, and then we're going to conclude. The wealth principle I want you to understand today is this. What you have in your hand right now, use it. Use what you have. Too often, many individuals, they look at themselves and they say, I don't have something. I need more. But you have right now inside of you, there's something you've already have right now. If you would use it and take it, it will cause increase in your life. It's called the Mark or the Matthew effect. the Mark or the Matthew effect. And it says this: whatsoever you have, more shall be given. And what you have not, that which you have shall be taken away. What you have, if you begin to start saying, I live a wonderful life, I live a good life, I'm a happy individual, I'm blessed and highly favored. You hear people say those things, but really mean it from the bottom of your heart. And when you begin to operate that, and you don't see yourself walking around as a person of lack, you see yourself as a person who's successful, you see yourself as a person who is abundant, you see yourself as a person that's being blessed, there's a remarkable amount of things you can do in your life. So use what you have. Is called the Mark effect. The Mark effect, or the Matthew, because it's mentioned in both of those two passages. Also, I want you to look at Isaiah, the 55th chapter. We talked about this before. How can I buy without money? How can I buy without price? How can I operate in this world when I seem like the economy is bad? It seems like there's economic turmoil, there's war and fighting all over the world. How can I live in this world today? You can live if you begin to see yourself as a have and not a have not. That's a statement of faith, but also that is the beginning of you from being here, taking something from there, that comes back to here. And that happens every time. Let me give you an illustration of this concept here. We're working on a new book that's called Dr. Alvin's Encyclopedia of Genius. And in this particular book, I am profiling extraordinary men and women all over the world who use certain success principles, because I mentioned to you in times past, a person's success is determined by the people, the places, and the principles that operate in their lives. And in this powerful book is entitled Dr. Alvin's Encyclopedia of Genius. Now, I've featured in this particular book one individual. His name is, I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, his name is a name that you really want to remember, a name that you really want to know something about. Now, I mentioned to you before that your long-term success is determined by the questions you ask, the answers you seek, and the instructions you're willing to obey. When you're around successful people, like the ones that you see here featured at the Even Place, like Bomani or Kevin or Stefano, anyone that you see here, Andre, they are people who ask questions. They seek answers, and they understand the power of an instruction or a recipe. So I asked this individual this question here, and I said, what did you discover, or when did you discover you were the best at what you do? He says, by no means do I believe I'm the best at what I do, but I learn on a daily basis and always am eager to learn from other people in business. Then he begins to proceed to tell me at the age of 27, he got a job working for the Marriott Corporation. And in that particular time period, he was able to revolutionize their airport business and cause their airport business to be successful. Then all of a sudden he said, you know what? I made this business successful. I want to be able to buy that particular piece of the business from the Marriott Corporation. The price to buy that business was $15 million. He wanted to buy a $15 million business, but he looked at what he had. He looked at his bank account. He talked to his family. He talked to his brother, and he talked to his sister. He said, what can we do? How much money can we pull together? And they only had $100,000. How do you buy a $15 million business? Don't you need $15 million to buy a $15 million business? No. You use what you have. And what he did, he took that $100,000 and he said, I want to buy a $15 million business. And they took it because he used what he had at the age of 33. Then I began to ask him another question, because again, you are the questions you ask, the answers you seek, and the instructions you're willing to obey. I said, what did you do? How did you know? How were you so bold to offer them $100,000 for a $15 million business? He said, Alvin, you know what I do on a daily basis? I pray. I ask God what I need to do in order to be successful, and God gives him the answer. That's very powerful. He used what he had to get what he did. His name is Warren Thompson. He's with Thompson Hospitality, a dear friend of mine. This past year, he's going to do $400 million in sales. He projects by 2016, he's going to do $1 billion in sales. And it all started by him taking what he had to get what he wanted, which was an important business. I want to encourage you right now to observe and understand wisdom principles. Who are people around you who are skilled at financial literacy? I'm not talking about people who buy things. There are a lot of people who walk around fancy cars and fancy homes in debt. I'm talking about people who understand the laws of money. If you don't have a friend, let us be that friend for you. You can always write me at alvin@dralvin.com. Or you can call us at 301-459-2461. Or you can go to our website, www.dralvin.com or www.theevenplace. And we want to be your financial hero, your friend that's going to help you to go from here to there to get that wealth, to bring it back to you. This is Alvin Augustus Jones, and I want to encourage you to continue to have a wonderful and extraordinary day.